Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion, and by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Welcome to a brand new week of Autoline Daily. Say, I've got to thank Barbara Banyai and Murray Feldman for filling in for me last week. What a great job they did. In today's show, Cadillac faces major triage, China loses an important court case, and the racing world suffers a terrible tragedy. Now to the news. As we've been reporting for weeks, Cadillac is floundering in the U.S. market. Sales are going nowhere, even though the overall market is going strong. Ward's reports there is now a 152-day supply of the ATS and a 215-day supply of the CTS. So it comes as no surprise that Cadillac is temporarily stopping production at the plant where those cars are made. It's surprising they let supply and demand get so out of control, but the plant closing is probably one of the first actions ordered by Cadillac's new president, Johan de Nysschen. And we think we're probably going to see a flurry of new actions taken before the year is out. Cadillac also announced some minor tweaks to the CTS, including wireless phone charging. You just drop your phone on a pad on the console and it will recharge without plugging it in. They also added text alerts to the queue system, and the automated parking function will now do perpendicular parking, not just parallel. But the most noticeable change is the new Cadillac crest that is mounted at the top of the grille. What do you think of the way they mounted it? I don't know. To me, it kind of looks like it gives the car a buck-tooth look. Maybe I just got to get used to it. I'm sure most of you have already seen the news, but in case you missed it, championship NASCAR driver Tony Stewart was involved in an incident that killed one of his competitors. It all happened at a dirt track race in New York over the weekend. Stewart and fellow racer Kevin Ward banged into each other, which sent Ward into the wall. He then climbed out of his car and onto the track to confront Stewart when Stewart's car hit him. Tragically, he was killed on the spot. Stewart was questioned by police, but they've decided it was not a deliberate act and they're not pressing any charges. But this has got to be one of the worst racing accidents we've ever seen, and it's a shock anything like this could ever happen. BMW has M, Mercedes has AMG, and now Land Rover is adding its own high-performance models called SVR. The first vehicle to carry the badge will be the 2015 Range Rover Sport SVR, which is capable of hitting 60 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds, thanks to its 550 horsepower engine. The power is put down through the 8-speed transmission and all-wheel drive, and of course, with that much power, adjustments were made to the suspension setup as well. The exterior of the vehicle has been modified for better cooling and aerodynamics, as well as interior tweaks to reflect its sporty character. But be ready to shell out over $111,000 if you want an SUV that can lap the Nürburgring in just over 8 minutes. Well, you win some and you lose some, and China just lost a big court case. Several years ago, the country began limiting shipments of rare earth metals, which are used in lithium-ion batteries for hybrids and EVs. That prompted the US, Europe, and Japan to file a case with the World Trade Organization. They argued the restrictions gave Chinese companies a competitive advantage because China produces over 90% of the world's supply of rare earth metals. Earlier in the year, the WTO ruled against China, which then appealed the decision, and now it just lost that appeal. Coming up next, you're not going to believe what Mercedes has done with the new C-Class.
Here's one of the great things about the all-around performance of our Jeweler tires. Excellent traction.
Do you need a ladder?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
At Bridgestone, our passion for performance knows no bounds.
It's time again for the biggest movable feast of metal, that is. It's the Woodward Avenue Dream Cruise. Join John McElroy along with 1 million of his closest friends and 8 lanes of classic cars, all coming to you on Friday, August 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's the 2014 edition of Autoline Live from Woodward, where hot rods are welcome.
With the surprising success of the entry-level CLA, Mercedes-Benz is upgrading its all-new 2015 C-Class in a few ways you might not suspect. First, it'll now be built alongside its SUVs in its Tuscaloosa, Alabama plant for the North American market. But not only that, the company is assigning the car more conquesting responsibility by going after competitors like the BMW 3 Series and Audi A4. And to accomplish that, Stuttgart has decided to turn the compact C-Class almost into a mini S-Class.
We want to take everything that our customers appreciate and like about the S-Class, the quality, the technology for safety, the comfort, and take all of that and have a smaller, in a smaller scale, introduce that to our C-Class package. And that's really what makes a Mercedes-Benz, that you can have all these kinds of features and technologies, not only in our $100,000 flagship, but also in a car that is much less than a car like the C-Class.
And packing the car with tons of technology and upgrades seems key to the company's strategy. Mercedes engineers improved the ride by equipping the car with a newly designed 4-link front axle, along with a new airmatic suspension. And in addition to improving safety by adding the suite of technologies that make up its intelligent drive system, and the first heads-up display for the C, the design team also added a little of Silicon Valley's artistic touch in the center stack area.
We have something we call a touchpad. It's a control pad for controlling all the infotainment and telematics functions of the car, just like you would on your smartphone. So it's a very intuitive way to input all the controls. You can input and enter destination with handwriting, actually entering letters into the system.
Another important aspect of the new C-Class is that it's 400 pounds lighter than before, despite the fact that it's 4 inches bigger. And that weight savings makes it that much easier to power the cars, since they both have new engines.
We will start with 2 new powertrains in the United States. The first is our C300 4MATIC. It's a brand new 2-liter 4-cylinder direct injection engine, turbocharged, 241 horsepower and 273 pound-foot of torque. The second will be a C400, also with 4-wheel drive, a 3-liter bi-turbo V6 for 329 horsepower and 354 pound-foot of torque.
In addition to these engines, when the car hits dealerships at the end of August, over the next few months, Mercedes will also be equipping the C with 3 more powertrains, including a clean diesel, a plug-in hybrid, as well as an AMG V8. But for right now, if you want one of the 3 available Cs, it will cost you anywhere between $38,000 and $49,000. Anyway, that wraps up today's report. Thanks for joining us. Please join us again tomorrow.